welcome to the channel. I am Globestar Music. So we're inside the Maschine 2.0 software, and say you want to add automation, right, to like a fade in, a fade out. So the normal way I do it, at least, is to create a group. You can call it volume automation, and then it's just a matter of routing audio, right? You're going to be routing the audio from your whatever sound sources you choose, your groups, even at the sound level, to your, let's call this an effects bus, right? In this case, it's a volume automation effects bus, if you will. So what I'll do here is select all my sound sources. Then we go to the output, audio output, and see here it says group. Now, in order for this to work, of course, you got to go to whatever bus or group you choose. Now, what I normally do is on this first sound, I'll add an EQ module, right? Because it does have a gain knob on it, and it's also automatable. You'll know by this little outer gray ring here, right? Just click on that. Now it shows up in the automation lane. So now, well, before we attempt to automate or do a volume fade in, then now you have to route the audio from these groups here to the volume automation module, right? All right, so we've done that. So now, matter of fact, let's start with this volume all the way down. So now when we want to automate the volume, shift record, hold down automate. All right, so as you can see, it's a real, like, just janky process. I really don't like it, right? I've never liked the automation lane inside a Maschine. And just hear how there's there's no ability to insert like shapes, like a nice smooth slope, you know. So it came to me the other day, right? About a couple months ago, I saw a trailer for Effectrix 2, and that's kind of where I got the idea to use Effectrix 2 to automate audio inside a Maschine. I actually tried it with, to be honest, I actually tried it with Effectrix 1. Didn't work. But what got me was in that trailer, I saw where they had the shapes, it hit me right away. Light bulb went off, like, oh, they've got the shapes. Maybe. All right, so it took me a little while to figure it out, but I tried it and it worked. So you're welcome. I'm gonna show you right now how to do it. I figured it out, and hopefully you find some value in this and you use it in the future. All right. Let's get rid of this here. Okay, and we'll replace the EQ with Effectrix 2. Okay, so Now we've got Effectrix 2 pulled up. You want to click on, well, a couple of things. I mean, it's not an Effectrix 2 tutorial. There's plenty of them on YouTube. But just the basics to get it going inside the machine, this is what you do, right? Just a couple of things to, I guess, pay attention to, because these are the parts of Effectrix 2 that you'll be using, right? Which is these patterns here. So these keys represent patterns. And you can actually set this up to, because, all right, the way this is going to work is you'll be triggering the slope you want at a certain given time using MIDI, right? So here what we'll have to do is go to settings, pattern, any octave, IG. I'll just start it on C0, right? So let's think of it like this. C0 is your first pattern, C sharp 0 is your second pattern, D0 is your third pattern, and so on, right? So we'll do that. All right, so we'll set this up for 2 bars, 2-bar fade in. So you go to level, select sample value transition with slope. Click on your volume. Well, first select the region or the length of the effect. We're going to do a fade in, right? The volume fade in. So from 0, and then you adjust. You can adjust, you know, your target basically at the end of your as smooth or as concave or as convex as you want. All right, so that would be our fade in on that first pattern. Now you got to think, you know, on the second pattern, same, just keep it at 2 bars. Now your volume is going to be at full level. So that would be your second pattern, because as your song is playing, it's at full volume, unless you want to get creative and do some other stuff with that. And on your third pattern, you want to do the same thing here. Doing mine for 2 bars. And now this is the, as you can see, this is the fade out. Something like that. So now we have our 3 patterns, right? Now, this play button right here, or this, and this start stop knob. This start stop knob corresponds to this play button, right? So this is what you'll be automating inside a machine, is when you want the effect to start, when you want it to stop, in conjunction with the MIDI as to which pattern you want triggered when. All right, too easy. So the next step is to insert a clip. Actually, I don't want a pattern, I want a clip. There we go. So insert a clip. That should cover the entire length of your song, or whatever portion of your song where you want the effect to take place, right? We'll add the start stop automation here. Now another thing that I do is because as you can see, we're in such a wide view on the grid. If I was to like do 16th increments on the MIDI notes, it'd be too small. So I usually just set this to 1 bar. All right. So the next thing you'll do is set this to on, right? All the way up at 1. That's on. Your effect will be on. And all that's going to matter now is just where you trigger the patterns. So we'll go into C0, which is, this is where you want pattern 1 triggered. Then after, let's say I want that fade in for first 2 bars, then full starting after the first 2 bars, and then at the, let's see here, I want us to start my fade out for, actually I think what I'll do here is I'll do my fade out for 4 bars. That works. Right after this point here. 37. So, and you can also trigger these on your keyboard. Okay. So as you can see, pattern 1 will be triggered first 2 bars, then we're at full level, then at the point of where we want it to fade out, pattern 3, start here, and that should be it. So let's test our let's prove our, let's show proof of concept, right? That this thing actually works. So I got a little so I have a little demo beat here. Nothing crazy, just a little joint I put together for demonstration purposes. And we'll see this thing in action, all right? I want to make sure host is disabled and enable the MIDI for the duration that you want the effect to take place. All right, so here we go.
Braces and they came with the frost. Triple links all the way up to your jaw. Step up the swag when I step on a